Everyone. My name is Nhat Wong. So you might wonder where's where's the origin of this name. Actually, I'm Vietnamese, and the reason why I have this French accent is because I grew up in Switzerland. But I will explain this more in detail. So, for people who didn't understand, aikifu means I donate in Japanese because some people they think it's like a foreign word, but actually no, it's in Japanese. So, once upon a time, in 1980, my parents, who were living in the extreme south of Vietnam, left after the Vietnamese War because they were scared from the North Vietnamese, and they went on a boat. It was a bigger boat than that. They told me there was 300 people, and they left with the hope of a better life. So they managed to arrive to Malaysia. So my parents were in the city called Kamau, and they arrived to Malaysia in a refugee camp in Kuala Lumpur, where they stayed enough time for me to be born. So I started quite a difficult life in a refugee camp. And actually the Red Cross was taking care of that camp. And they selected a few families. And fortunately my family was selected to go to Switzerland, that some of you might know is the country of Heidi. And so I grew up very close from Geneva, which is very close from France. So that's why we speak French. I will forward a bit. So I went to the university in Switzerland, and I studied about marketing and business. And during my last year of university, I went to Santiago in Chile. So I learned a bit how to speak Spanish and specialize a bit more in marketing. And after I graduated, I spent some time in London to basically, that's where I kind of met my Japanese girlfriend. And that's one of the reasons why I ended in Japan in 2007. Of course, we can live from love, but of course I needed some money too, so I started working for an IT company called Wiscorp, for who actually I'm still working. This company was founded by two French people, and we started doing some bilingual websites. So this is one of the websites we've done for the European Business Council. It's like the European Chamber of Commerce. And we switched to online gaming for iPhone. And it was actually a better business because we were able to expand our team from 2 to we're now 16 people. And one of our latest work is a game that we did for Gree, that some of you might know, which is one of the competitors of mobile game. So, how I got the idea about aikifu, with my background, I was helped by NPOs. So for me, I wanted to do something that could help the NPOs, and I actually went to big NPOs and I tried to, at the beginning, try to help them to maybe have a better website. And after a few interviews, I quickly understood that NPOs in Japan don't always have a lot of money. And they have really like a big challenge, and the number one challenge for NPOs in Japan, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I figured out that it was fundraising. So these are not the latest numbers, unfortunately. I had a hard time finding this information for 2010, but at least in 2007, Japanese, as you can see, Japanese people donated a few amount, compared to the US, to the NPOs in Japan. So US, the US gave more like 40 times what Japanese people have given to the NPO. So does it mean that the Japanese don't care? I don't think so. I believe that Japanese people are actually very generous. But I think the NPOs are facing just some challenge, and one of them is the low marketing budget. And this has the consequence that they cannot really promote themselves. So it's hard for them to, with the limited staff, to actually find new donation. Let's try to have the crowd participate a little. I came up with some reason why I think Japanese people don't donate as much, and I would like to ask you if you could tell me one of the reasons why you think some people don't donate to the NPO. So anyone has an idea?
Because we are shy.
Okay, well, that's one. Okay.
My family grew up in California, and in the school environment, always we need to donate something from the early childhood. So that is one of the customs of Japan. Maybe school system is not ready for that.
You're right. So the culture and the education system also is not pushing really the students as much as in other countries. That's true. Anyone has another suggestion?
I think people in Japan don't really know which organization is reliable. Like they don't know how the money will be spent.
Exactly. So it's a matter of trust,
Yeah.
mainly, right? Another. Well, I think you have identified mainly what I have thought about. So you're right. The number one, I think there is not really a culture of donation in Japan. So I think this is something we cannot really change. Or if it changes, this will take too much time. The second thing I have identified is the lack of information that the NPOs are able to share with the public. And this has the consequence, as you said, that people don't really know about the NPOs, they don't know what they're doing with the money, so of course it's hard to trust those NPOs. And lastly, even if somebody wants to make a donation, it's so inconvenient to donate. You have to go to the ATM, and sometimes you go after work, but the ATM is already closed, so you cannot really make a payment. And who actually made a donation during their lunch break? I think very few people did it. And I don't think we can actually make an impact on the culture and the lack of trust, but I think what we can do is by sharing more information for the NPO to the public and making the donation process more easy, I believe that more people will donate. So, working for this web design company, I learned how to make online promotion. And I quickly understood that even for a business, if you want to promote your organization on internet with a lower cost, you'd better use the social networks. And just to make a little survey, who has an account on Mixi? All right. On Twitter? I see. And Facebook? More people. Okay, great. So it's go against the trend, but basically, you know that a lot of people are spending time on social networks now, and if you're an organization and if you're a non-profit organization, you have to be on those social networks to communicate to people who might potentially be interested in you, because if you don't do it, other NPOs will do, and they will, get your kind of market share, if I can say. So I don't know how many of you know Seth Godin, but he's kind of a marketing guru, and what he says is everyone is busy, lazy, and in a hurry, and if you make it complicated and time-consuming to help, even the most generous of the people are not going to lend a hand. And
Tribes.
Tribes, good one. Good. So, I really listened to him, and I think you're right. I think we should make donation something so easy that it should look something like this. And the result is for me that if people before they had to queue and go to the ATM and donate, so few people will donate. But if you make a system where it's so easy, where in 1 minute somebody can contribute, for example, right after they hear news about the earthquake, simply more people will contribute, and I'm pretty sure about it. So saying that, I think we have a chance to increase those numbers. So Japan is a bit behind, I would say, in terms of mobile donation. This is back in last year when there was the earthquake in Haiti. So if you remember, it was in January. And what happened in the US is that the Red Cross, which is, for me, one of the leading NPO who know how to use technology to do fundraising, the Red Cross was using mobile to get donation from the public. So I don't know if who heard about this. Nobody heard about mobile donation in the US? Okay, so I will explain how it works. So basically in the US, if you want to donate to the Red Cross, you can send a short message from your mobile phone, and you say the amount that you want to donate. So you type, for example, Haiti, $10, and you send the SMS to the message to a special number, and when you do, the $10 will be charged directly to your mobile bill. So you don't need to use your credit card, you don't need to go to the ATM, you do everything from your living room while you're waiting for the subway, when you're on the bus, when you take your bath, no problem. So celebrities actually use their Twitter account to tell to their fans, you should donate to help the people in Haiti. You have famous singers like Alicia Keys, who also did the same on YouTube. She has many fans around the world. And did people give? Yes. One day after the event in Haiti, already $2 million were donating to the Red Cross. Sorry. I went too fast. 2 days after, it was 8 million. And 10 days after, it was already exceeding $30 million. So that's, as you can see, it was quite a lot of money. If any NPO in Japan could receive that much, I'm sure many NPOs would be happy. But let me tell you what is Aikifu. So Aikifu, as I said, I received the award last year about the business plan. So I explained my idea, and I had a few days of celebrities on their website. But let me tell about the mission of Aikifu. Basically, we want to help the NPOs to do fundraising by using the technology. And the vision I have is that, I want to simply simplify the way people can contribute to the world and to the society, With the technology, I think now everybody has a mobile phone, everybody can do something to make an impact in this world. That kind of is resumed in my logo. So, before I started thinking about my website, I look at the competitor. I look at what is going on in online donation in Japan. So, I found charity platform. Who do you know charity platform? Nobody. What about Ikokoro? Anyone heard about Ikokoro? More people. Right. And the last one, Just Giving. Who heard about Just Giving? Okay. Well, Just Giving is really the latest online donation website, and I think it's getting more coverage because they have some celebrities that join Just Giving. So like Jessica Michibata and this kind of famous people. So many people go and they look at what's going on there. But I look at those websites and I found there's a few things that I thought should be improved. So I identified 5 points. One was the user experience, so it's just the way people navigate on the website. I think on those websites, it's easy to get lost. And if people get lost, they will not donate, so that's a little issue. Second is the way people donate on those websites is mainly with Furikomi or credit card. And I want to add the mobile payment system. The third is transparency. I will go in detail actually. Social networks and volunteering. So the user experience is, this is the Japanese website where it very looks professional. There's a lot of content, many pictures. But let me ask you the question, do you know where to start in this website? It's for me it's a bit hard to find. So on Aikifu, I try to simplify a bit. I don't think you see very well, but basically, I try to put the campaigns, the project, in the first page, so that people can easily find something they want to contribute to. Whereas in those websites, you have to choose the category first of the NPO, like let's say education. And you go and then you have a list of 20 NPOs and you have to choose one and then you donate to one. But I thought this is too long process. It's better to put the project, like let's say we build a school in Cambodia, we help the people who suffer from the earthquake in Haiti, and like Leslie, you heard maybe the earthquake in New Zealand. And I thought people would be able to navigate more easily. Second, the payment is, I mentioned before, people maybe they had to go to the ATM, take their credit card, but with Aikifu, I hope that people would just simply take their mobile phone, select the amount they want to donate, confirm, and that would be it. So we are working on this, but this is really what I aim for. Transparency. So where is the money? On those websites, it's hard to know. Basically, once you donated to the NPOs on those websites, they don't have, those websites, charity platform, Ikokoro and Just Giving, they don't have the responsibility to tell you what happened with the money. They just are an agent who take your money and give to the NPO. But on Aikifu, what I want to do is, to each campaign, there will be an activity report that the NPOs have to, furnish to give to the people who contributed, so that people know how it was before the campaign and how it is after the campaign. So here, the campaign was build a school. Before, the students, they had to study outside, and after they were able to have a school. Something that was missing on all those those competitors, is that usually the interaction between the donor and the NPO is like just between the donor and the NPO. But on Aikifu, I want the NPOs to be able, using Facebook and Twitter, to reach the friend of the people who contributed, the close people, and this way, one person, by doing one action, can actually promote the NPO to all his friends. I'll give more detail about that later. You can ask questions. And the last one is volunteering. I know in Japan, many people prefer to do volunteering than actually donate money. And I listened to that. And on those websites, if you're a volunteer, maybe you're a student, maybe you still don't have a lot of money, there's nothing that you can do to support and contribute to the society. And I thought, there's a lot of energy that is choto mottainai, as you say in Japanese, right? And in Aikifu, everybody who wants to do something should be able to at least say, I would like to do something. If somebody needs my help, just contact me and I will try to do what I can. So let's take an example. This was the earthquake in Haiti. Before, an NPO, if they want to raise money from the population, what can they do? Well, they could make a flyer, they could email to their supporters, or they could update their website. But what's the problem with this is that it costs actually money to print the flyers. and they have to send it to the people, and the people, they receive it. What do? They don't really go directly to the post office or to the ATM and everything. Usually they leave it on the side of a room, and then maybe they go back later and something. So what happened is that people get, it's too long time before they can do something that very few people actually contribute. So IKIFU merit is that the NPOs can have their profile, and they create directly their campaigns there. And in this case, the Red Cross could say, what's happening in Haiti, and they can make a wish list. So this is the interesting part. The NPOs actually can request to the public, we need financial support, but we also need non-financial support. One of the examples of financial support is like people could actually buy some blankets, or people can buy a tent or earthquake kit. And here, this is a place where volunteers also can be requested. So they can say, oh, we need 3 people to help us give some flyers in the street or something. But we can imagine that it can be also kind of e-volunteering, so people can help the NPOs from home by, for example, translating a text from Japanese to English. This is another example how IKIFU could be used if there is, for example, an NPO who is building a school in Cambodia. The NPO could request some chairs, some tables, some books or some pens for the kids. So people can, if they want to contribute to that campaign, they can select what they would like to contribute for. And the great thing is that from the start, people know what's happening with their money. So for the donor, what is fun in IKIFU? So every time somebody make a good action, like this lady, she donated a blanket, for example, she will collect what I call karma point. So what I mean by karma point is basically it's in Japanese ikotoshita point. So every time you do something good, you will get some karma point. And so it will be added to your total. You can collect them. And people ask me, but what can I do with those points? And I thought a bit. And basically I'm thinking, yeah, we should give an award, like I received from NEC, but an award for the people who contributed the most to the society. And those awards could be sponsored by a big corporation. And we could give that to some normal people like you who helped the most to contribute to the society. Let me explain a bit my business model. Many people ask me, so how do you earn money? Because when you have a social project, a social company, you have to think about how you can sustain your business. And the way to do, at the beginning I thought was, I can simply just take a percentage, so people would donate 100 yen. I would take 10% to maintain the system, and I would give the rest to the NPO. But many people came to me and they say, it's not that good, Nhat. I think you can do better. So I thought, okay, doshu was a hard moment. But I came up with an idea, and I thought, NPOs always have sponsor, which are corporation. And I thought, if, for example, Coca-Cola was sponsoring the Red Cross, before, as I showed, only the 90% would arrive to the Red Cross, but what I was aiming to was that the NPO would receive the 100% of the donation. But how can I do that? And I thought that, actually it should be the corporation who give the 10% to IKIFU to maintain the website, so the NPO can receive the full amount. But you will say, okay, but what will you give to the corporation? And basically we will give them promotion. So let's imagine that I donated to the Red Cross. The message that would be posted on my Facebook or Twitter or Mixi would be, thank you, Nat, for donating to the Red Cross to support the victim in Haiti. This campaign is sponsored by Coca-Cola. So what happened here is that all my 994 friends on Facebook can see that. So imagine, it's really hard for a corporation to make promotion directly on social network, because if this is something that nobody asked for, like if you put drink Coca-Cola on your Facebook page, people will think, why do you say that? It's a bit strange. But if you do something good, and at the same time you say, oh, by the way, this campaign is sponsored by Coca-Cola, the people will listen more, and they will associate your brand with something good for the society, which is something that could be great for some B2C corporation. There is a little section about, which is called an eShop. So if NPOs have something to sell, like a bracelet or a T-shirt, to do actually to sell some merchandising, there will be a place on Aikifu where you can sell your products. And also some corporation, if they sponsor an NPO, they can share some of the profit they will make by selling their product on Aikifu. So I presented Aikifu to big NPOs in Japan, also to smaller ones, and I already found more than 30 NPOs that are willing to join Aikifu as soon as the website is fully functional, because right now it's still a prototype, but the website is being done right now as I'm talking. And if there's some NPOs in the room, you can talk to me later. I can explain you more in detail how it will work to subscribe. So my action plan right now is that I'm actually right now in this part. So I found many NPOs who wanted to participate, and now I'm building the beta version of Aikifu. And right now I'm also looking for some business partners. I will give a detail about who I'm talking with now. And it's going to be about trying to find some corporate sponsors and some investors, so we can actually make the full version of Aikifu. And we will be able to develop the K-type version of the website and the iPhone and Android application. But this will come in the second step. And finally, we will promote the website, hopefully by the end of this year. So the sector Aikifu wants to connect with is actually education, music, fashion industry, TV, you can see the list. So I believe that all of the sector can do something for charity, and we can always find a way to connect on Aikifu. So I will give you some example. For example, for the fashion industry, I have a friend who actually make a charity for fashion. So there will be some models who will, do a kind of fashion show, and the people to enter, they have to pay some money to get in, and some of the money will go to an NPO. So this is something we can collaborate. Another thing that I'm really interested in is the online video game. So basically now, online video, maybe you don't play too much, but actually it's a big sector. There's billions of dollars that are spent every year on online gaming, but all of the money, I would say, is used to buy some virtual items. So all the money is used to buy something that doesn't exist in the reality. Billions of dollars. And I was just thinking, well, if we could give just 1% of this money to actually connect to a real project in the world, like if you play to a game where you have to build your own farm, and that some of the money would go to actually buy some real seeds, this could make an impact in the society. And I'm sure that the people who are playing would also be happy to contribute. So this is the list of the NPOs I'm talking to. I don't know if you know PayPal, but basically it's a online payment system that simplifies the way people can pay on the internet. And actually I will implement their payment system. And actually I was contacted by Tsutaya. So, I don't know who has a T-Point card. Everybody has a T-Point card? Yeah? So basically in the future, you will be able to use your T-Point to donate money to NPO through iKifu. So we are talking about this now. And of course, the 3 mobile carriers is something really important because I want people to be able to donate from their mobile phone. And this is something also I am working on now to actually get the authorization for this, but it's going to take a lot of time to negotiate. And also, the more NPOs are joining iKifu, the more power I will have to negotiate. So if you're an NPO and you're interested in this system, please help me to join iKifu. Other ones is Amazon, Yahoo Wallet. So basically, you will be able to hopefully pay using those accounts to donate. So because they already have your credit card information, you don't need to enter your credit card information again. You just put your login from those websites, and hopefully you will be able to pay. Salesforce, I don't think many people know, but it's an online donor management system. So you can manage the relationship between your donor and the NPO. So you can know when is the last time, for example, Tanaka-san made a donation to your NPO, and if it's like maybe 1 year ago, you can send him again an email and say, you know, it's been 1 year since you have donated last time. Maybe you can donate another time, you know. So this kind of tool will come in the future in iKifu. So the future features on iKifu is not is something I aim to. So number one is more for big corporations. I call the payroll donation. So it's basically giving through your salaries. So you would be able to say to your company each month, please take 500 yen of my salary and donate to, let's say, UNICEF or something. And you know, it would be very easy and convenient for people to select. And for the accounting, it's also very easy to just deduct 500 yen or something and give it to iKifu, and then we take care of sending it to the right NPO. Well, this is something I'm interested in. Second is a volunteer matching system. Many big corporations have a lot of employees that want or have to do volunteering, and they don't find enough campaign or project that those people can support. So I want to make a system where volunteers and NPOs can connect. Yeah, I talk about the donor relationship system and online gaming donation. So I will talk with those big corporations who are making game and try to make deal with them. So this is the team. Basically, I'm the founder, and my co-founder was not able to come today. Actually, the people who are making my website is the people from WizCorp, and they actually, I'm still working for Guillaume and Sally, and actually I managed to somehow convince him to make a kind of CSR department on his venture. At the beginning there was only 3 people in this company. I was the 3rd, and I told him, you know, I want to do iKifu and give me a chance. And, you know, he was very generous, and he let me spend 30% of my time at the beginning. And now he saw my progress, and he basically let me work almost 100% of my time just on this project. So a very generous person, and I'm really lucky I'm working for him. Yeah, so I think that's it. I'm waiting for your questions. I'm sure you have a lot. And thank you very much. Yeah, so if anyone has questions, I can go back to my slides and can discuss some points that you didn't understand, maybe. Yes.
Hi, thank you for your interesting presentation.
Thank you.
My question, so how do you select the organization NPO? Like I saw many very big organizations like Red Cross, UNICEF. Or do you prefer the bigger organization, or do you cooperate with small, like local?
Yeah. Okay. No, actually, I put some big corporations so that people could recognize some NPOs. But actually, I would prefer to help the small and medium-sized NPOs because they are the ones who need the most this kind of tool to promote themselves. Big NPOs like UNICEF, Red Cross, WWF, they already have all they need. You know, they don't really need me. But I thought it was important, at least at the beginning of the website, to have some big NPOs so that people can say, well, this is Aikifu is a serious website. But actually, no, this is open to the NPOs who are officially registered.
Yeah, but do you have any criteria when you choose an organization? Because you cannot trust all the organizations.
You're right. So first, you have to be a registered NPO. And second, you have to be able to show some results from your activities. So anything like activity report will do, but basically we want NPOs who agree to be transparent, to show what they do with the money, to show that they have results, and to show that they try to help others. Then usually it's fine. Actually, at the beginning, there's not so many NPOs, so I can do a kind of personal interview with the founder and this kind of thing, and I can quickly understand if it's a serious NPO or not. So, I'll tell you for this.